Right, today we're going to put in the reverse lights. Here we are, LED lighting from Diode Dynamics HP36 LED bulb. To access the reverse lights, I pulled this tab here. I think we have one up here, or you can just run this up. These pry tools coming in handy. Need them all the time. This is our reverse bulb. Go ahead and twist this out to the left. There's not a lot of wire on here, so the bulb wants to just retract back inside. Go ahead, pull the reverse bulb out. Here we go. That bulb size, in case you're not replacing it with an LED, is a 12 volt W16W 2EL. So it's a 921 size bulb. But we're replacing ours with LEDs today. Okay, I'm going to place the LED right in here. And because of polarities, sometimes, well, you got a 50-50 shot that this is correct. So I don't have anyone with me today. So how am I going to check? Well, I'm going to leave them out, just like that. And I'm going to get in the vehicle and put it in reverse, look over my shoulder, see if I can see it reflecting back here. So we're going to move to the other side and do that real quick. Now we have the other side. Same. You can see there's a detent here to pull that. Looks like here at the top is the other side. Actually, I'm just going to fish this up again because that worked better. There we go. And again, to your left, towards the passenger side, is how you twist this out. And again, there is quite a bit of resistance because you have such a short piece of wiring there. Okay. And here we go. As easy as this, we put it into reverse. There we go. So as we continue on, now we're going to be going towards installing the Diode Dynamics Stage Series hitch mount. This is a reverse backup light with running lights and a brake light. So this model here is the C1R hitch mount pod kit, and I'll be installing that on this video, and I should have a secondary video that you can go watch just detailing all about it. All right, today I'm going to be installing the Stage Series hitch mount. This is the reverse light, brake light, and running light from Diode Dynamics. Now this is the Model 1CR hitch mount pod kit. Inside this kit here is the wiring to hook up to your tow wiring, because that's how this is going to be controlled. So Diode Dynamics says this is as simple as just a 1-minute installation. Pop the wiring through the hitch that we all have on our 4runners. It's a 2-inch hitch receiver. And inside here, we have everything that we're going to start. We have a Diode Dynamics stickers. Here's the HitchPod light itself. And we got that in there. Okay, and there's the wiring harness. So we're going to be installing this today. What I liked about the functionality of this is that not only is it going to add increased visibility with the reverse light, which is what I primarily bought it for, but it's increased visibility when braking. This is the 1CR model, so it does a 3-burst strobe with the red brake light. You can disable that with a wire that they have plugged in there, but I like that. I feel it gives me more visibility. I'm driving my vehicle with young children inside, and so anything that will give the drivers behind me a heads up, something to look at and realize that there's a vehicle stopping in front of them, I figure is more safety the better. So something good to run with. And there it is. Here's the HitchPod all by itself. And everything I've purchased from Diode Dynamics has been quality craftsmanship. This is just going to snap in there. There is a magnet, it looks to be, on the base of it, which possibly keeps it from rattling out. And they have their heat sinks built in here on the back, so this thing should stay cool. 4-pin connector inside there, which is going to go to the reverse lights, and it's simply held in with these 2 tabs, so it can be placed in. They say that you can modify this so it takes a hitch receiver pin. That's something I might do in the future, just for a few reasons. Worry about if it ever is going to rattle out. Also, would like someone not to walk up to my vehicle, unplug this, and take it. So we're going to take a look at how this goes in now. So there's that. And before we get down and take a look at installing it, we're going to open up the wiring harness here. We have a few zip ties, and we have the instructions on how to do so. So I'm going to take a look at that, and then we're going to go down below, plug this in, and we should be good to go running this in just a few moments. All right, everyone. We have the Stage Series HitchMounts 1CR from Diode Dynamics. This is the layout of the wiring harness that we're going to be putting in. So this is going to plug in to the current wiring harness that you have to detach from underneath. This is going to plug back into the hookup that we have underneath. Then there's the hitch mount over here. So let me go ahead and show you here on this 5th gen 4runner. When you get down here on the driver's side, you have right here is the hookup for your trailer. So you have that opens up. There's the 7-pin in there, and here's your 4-pin. Okay, so to set this up, no, go ahead and we're gonna get under here. Set this up. I've already removed this. This is the 7-pin. It connects on the back here on the 4runner. And to remove it, it's hard to see because they wrap it up so it's watertight. It's not this short side, but it's the side here. And you depress this. You can feel it slightly behind there, but you depress the area. If you can see in here, see that movement? It depresses it and you pull it up and off from back here. So now Diode Dynamics has gone ahead and I'm going to set the tripod, but we're going to connect this there, the long piece, and the short piece should connect back here. So securing the area is still watertight, and then we're going to run this through the hitch over here so that we'll have power to it. All right, so let me set up the tripod and we'll film that out. And try to give everyone the best line of sight I can give you is here's the short piece, and then back here you can see this is the original wiring loom from the vehicle wrapped, and then there's the new connector. So this is a pretty snug fit. I don't think it's going to jump out anywhere, that's for sure. And then now we have the wire right here, as you can see, that's hanging. We're going to go fish that through right over here to the tow hitch. So let me go ahead and reposition, and we'll do that next. Just to chime in, as we're going to take the tire down, this screw is very tight on the spare tire set. I want to let you know that if you're out on the road, you don't have the tool, you can't unscrew it so that you can get the other piece in because the screw is too tight. Tire iron right here, square drive, breaks it apart. You can go ahead and back that out so you can get this extension rod in. So just food for thought, something to know. We'll go ahead and drop this spare tire. This goes in right here. Always fun to fish this. There we go. First time for everything. Brand new vehicle, and trying to run this spare down. Better to test it now than when you're on the side of the road. Make sure everything's working properly. So might as well take it down the whole way so I can get under there and zip tie and get this wiring loom tucked away. There we go. It is down, and I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to set up this camera so you can see what is going on under here. All right, hopefully we capture this. Now we've gone ahead, dropped the spare tire. You can see over here, here's where we're all wired up with into the original hitch mount plugged in here. Now we have our wire. We have to come over here and go right through. I'm going to go ahead and pop in the Hitchpod now. And we get plugged in one way. All right, we're in. Now I will say, Diode Dynamics says this is like a 1-minute install. Oh boy. Well, there's something new. It hangs out quite a bit. A lot further than I thought. I thought we'd be flush. And we're sitting out from the rear hitch about 1 inch. So not a flush fit here on the 4runner. There's really no way to do that. And even if I pin it, it's going to be sticking out. So that is a bummer. Well, oh well, we're hooked up here. Let's see what we can do. So this is where the tire sits, and I'm going to just run that right over the top. That way the tire should not have any impingement on this loom. And over here, we're looking for anything to bring this up out of the way. There's not much to zip tie onto, especially with where the tire is going to sit. I'm going to turn on my flashlight here. So I have the wire run up here. The tire is going to sit right on this. Here's where the tire mounts to the bottom or touches off, so the wire is above that, safely out of the way. And I guess I'm just going to put one zip tie here to retain this from bouncing all around, because we don't want to make a lot of noise with this. And that's a lot holding on to this. I'd like to zip tie up here into the cavity somehow, and it looks like I'm going to go right here, and I can zip tie down. And I'm going to be back with some longer zip ties then, because that is what we're going to need to do. So I'm going to head and run the recording, and we'll have to edit this later. All right, I'm back. Zip ties in tow. Let's see here. I can set this up anywhere. Nothing's. There we go. So I'm going to run a zip tie up through the top here. Get a little bend. See if I can grab that. There we go. And then This is just going to be a loose way to keep this harness from rattling. I'm going to cut the ends off too because I don't want to hear anything scratching around there. It's pretty impressive once you get under here to see the sheer amount of different items that Toyota has running on this system. So try to pull this. I don't like the sound of that. Is that not zipping? That seems good. That takes some of the weight off of this harness, and that's all I'm looking to do. It's not rattling so much anymore. Now I'm going to take one of the provided zip ties here, and I'm going to just run it around where the tire is going to sit. Okay, that's good there. Let's snip the ends. Always take your time snipping something. Last thing you want to do, you're actually going to leave this one a little bit longer. Tie it up. Okay. All right. So that's all in there. We're plugged in. Plugged in. That's out of sight and out of mind. This isn't going to rattle too much. This is right here. And I guess we could put one more zip tie just to the downside here of where we hook up our hitch. I'm going to snug this up here. That way, if anyone wants to take this, it's definitely not an easy thing to take. This is actually pretty difficult. So you'd have to get in the vehicle. Most thieves want something quick. So, here we go. Snug that up. Not going to go anywhere. Grab our flashlight, and then let's take a look. So here's what we've done. We've run the wiring up over this area that the tire sits. Come over here, and then we have the box where this is the purple wire you cut if you don't want the 1CR to flash. And back out here, here's our plug. And I have zip tied that up through here just to give it some cushion, because here's the original mount from the factory. I just don't want that to be torn out. So lots going on there, and we got this plugged in here, so that continues to stay watertight, and these ports should still work. And there you go. Here's just an underside view of the 4runner. Here's where your when you take down your chain for your spare is. And then a lot of other components such as the KDSS pistons and everything else. So stay tuned. A lot of things to happen with this 4runner. For right now, bone stock, 200 miles, and getting these accessories in. All right, we're going to fire it up. Hopefully get some video of this thing in the reverse and brake mode. Check it out, Cal. Had to take the spare tire down, and I ran this wire here. This goes up and over spare tire area, and then tapped into I didn't tap anything, it all came pre-wired, but tapped into the harness for the tow you got right there, and then it taps back in there. So this thing's ready to rock and roll from Diode Dynamics. Unfortunately, the pod sits out a little more than I wanted. I thought it'd sit flush in there, but it does not. That's the bummer. Anyways, we're gonna fire it up, see how it looks. Lights, mount in and ready to go from Diode Dynamics. I'm in the vehicle now. We're going to go ahead and press the brake. Hopefully the Hitchpod's doing something. It may not be because the vehicle is not on. Now we're going to start the vehicle. All right, now the vehicle started. I'm releasing the brake. All right, now I'm applying the brake to the vehicle. You should see some strobes and the brake light. Now when I lift my foot off the brake, I'm going to turn on the running lights. So now it should be a red running light on the vehicle. And now, last but not least, I'm going to place the vehicle in reverse. When we put it in reverse, we should see the hitch pod light up, and we should see the two brighter reverse lights. Now we're in reverse, and that is what we've done today, finishing up all the lighting that we've put in the interior and for the reverse lights. If you're watching this for the hitch pod, I recommend it. I wish that it didn't stick out as far, but I'm looking forward to having this as part of the vehicle and added security and safety measures. All right, and that's it. I'm going to turn the vehicle off. We're going to review this and see how good it looks. So right now the vehicle's still on. I have my keys. I have the running lights on. If I hit it, it's going to give me an alarm because I have the hatch up. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the vehicle lights off. Now we're back to standard daytime running lights. And in that mode, it turns everything off. So I think it looks really well accessorized, fits in with the theme of the 4runner. So this should be years of great use. Has an 8-year warranty, which I think is phenomenal. And we'll see how that works. Thanks so much for tuning in.